What's up, everybody? This is Killer Swank. Glad you're here. Thank you for coming to check out the channel. Very excited to be doing this. I'm very excited to be doing this video, man. I've waited for this game for such a long time. Absolutely so happy that they did this game, and I love the way they did it. The visual effects are amazing. The rendering is great. I mean, just looking at Midgar, the character builds, I love every part of it, and I definitely don't have anything bad to say. Man, I gotta say, these voice actors are on point. Love it. I love the attitude, the type of attitude they bring. I really feel like it fits the bill for these people's personalities. You know, Barrett, super full of life, very confident. Cloud, obviously very laid back. Sid, step back. He definitely doesn't like dealing with a lot of things. Definitely doesn't like a lot of things, which you kind of see that develop over time, and you see him kind of soften up. It was definitely really cool to watch. The cinematics are great. It's almost like watching a movie. I love it. And I would also love to introduce Charlie Sheen as a new character.
So what's Soldier Boy's deal? Is he one of us now? He's got balls, what was his name again?
Cloud Strife.
Right.
And he isn't a soldier anymore. Still, he's a professional, unlike the rest of us. I'm glad to have him.
All joking aside, I'm actually very happy with the character models from Biggs to Wedge. All of them, I think they were done pretty well. They captured the personalities very well. And this game is just a joy to look at in every aspect that you play it, even in the combat.
Themselves. Although the next batch probably could, if Jessie put her mind to it. Most every home in the area has one. Folks love them because they practically eliminate the rotten egg smell. Honestly, they make
Alright, so now what that leads me into is the combat. I think they did a great job with the combat, really. It's definitely pretty fast-paced. Obviously not the traditional Final Fantasy VII style turn-based system. But guess what? I mean, every Final Fantasy is like that now. I mean, Final Fantasy 15, I mean, dating back to Final Fantasy 12, it was like that. So I'm definitely happy with it. The slowing down of animations for when you're using your command system is great. If I have to knock it, I would say it can definitely feel kind of button mashy at times, with square being your only source of attack, holding or pressing. It definitely kind of feels button mashy when all you're trying to do is just kind of fill your ATB bars. I definitely like the mixing of, basic attacks and then leading into your abilities or spells. I almost feel like at times that the ATB bars, there's not enough of them, with only having two, only being able to pull out two spells or do one, two types of physical damage, or mix them however you want, really. But it definitely keeps a strategic value to it with, being able to use your ATB bars for physical attacks and then having somebody who's ready to use them for, your cures, whatever the case may be. Because this game definitely still leaves you in a strategic point to stagger your opponent and use whatever magic or kind of attacks will stagger them the quickest. So I really like that they kept something like that in there. Final Fantasy is definitely all about strategic gameplay and fighting scenes and sequences, so I definitely think they hit the nail on the head with that one. I thoroughly enjoyed every battle that I had, I would say. It does seem somewhat repetitive, but, when you're a badass like Cloud and you're just swinging a big-ass sword around, I mean, I don't know how you could be mad. Another thing that I think could have really benefited the combat in this game would be some type of tactical party system where you kind of go into this main menu or whatever the case may be, put on, for your certain party members, put what you want them to do, what you want them to focus on, what kind of magic, specific magic they want you to do, when, what percent of health do you want them healing these people, who do you want them to focus on. I want to say it was Final Fantasy 12 that had that. I'm pretty positive. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty positive they had that. So I think this gameplay could have very much used something like this. It's still good, don't get me wrong. I still enjoyed it. I still loved it. But I definitely think really any kind of party system could really use something like that to kind of help the AI along. It definitely helps. There's a lot of times where I felt like I was, playing as Cloud, going hard on attacks, breaking my thumb on the square button, and I look over and Barrett just kind of, moving around, aiming his gun, just kind of circling the guy, and, when literally all you have to do is shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot. So, I definitely think some type of tactical AI system could have been put in place. But really, I think that's really the only gripe that I have about the combat. There's definitely overall a lot of good things with uh, still having a strategic standpoint, but not being bland enough to just sitting in one spot. And even with the original Scorpion having a weak spot on its back, I think adds a lot to the gameplay and the system that they put into place for the combat, and it kind of keeps newer players involved.
Dale, you don't want to be hit by that laser.
Huh? So, what do we do?
Don't get hit. Take cover behind that debris.
Get react.
Now, go!
Alright, so the last thing that I want to talk about is kind of like the core gameplay basics, I guess you would say, when you're kind of just running around. There's some combat in between. You're kind of running in between, just kind of fighting little hordes of soldiers or dogs, whatever the case may be, the hounds. When it comes to Final Fantasy, I mean, checking every nook and cranny for every chest is still very relevant in this game. Making sure that you're finding every item that you can, certain locked areas that you can only find keys to or buy keys to. These are all relevant in this game. I mean, so you definitely have to be on your P's and Q's, do your due diligence, make sure you're finding every hidden item that you can find, anything that you can take, either sell, use for upgrades for your party characters, Cloud, whoever it may be. But this game definitely makes sure that you are adventuring. I mean, you definitely want to try to get all the items that are in these crates. 9 times out of 10, it's usually some type of potion, antidote. But all these things add up. They definitely make for a good stock on inventories, especially when Gil is not the easiest thing to come by, especially in early game. You'll definitely don't ever seem like you'll really run out of money, but it's not like you have hundreds of thousands of Gil to spend at a consistent basis. I would definitely try to stock up whenever you can, though, and I would really love the fact that they put in benches and vending machines in this, and it seems like they pop up pretty frequently throughout the missions that you're on with Cloud and whoever to buy sometimes downgraded prices of potions, antidotes, whatever you may need at the time. You could buy weapons from them, you can buy armor from them, some of them have materia. So definitely make sure to access these things when you can see them. Always try to take a rest when you can because it fills your HP and your MP. I really love the fact that they added that in there. It definitely adds an element to the game of, do I heal now? Do I waste all my items, or do I go to the next area and hopefully find a bench? Or do I take the chance on it and go into a cutscene and then get thrown right into a fight and be half health? So, which it's the latter usually than the first one. Typically, when you're low health, the first thing you're going to do is face the hardest boss you've ever fight. So, it's nice to have, but always carry on your potions and make sure you're always stocking up when you can. Definitely helps out a lot. So, with all that being said, I definitely love this game. I thought they did a great job remaking this game. I thought they kept a nostalgia standpoint to it, and they really brought it out. They made it good for people who have played this game back in the 90s and also people who have never even heard of it. I think no matter who you are, you can play this game and you can enjoy it. From the combat system to the way the game looks. I mean, with Cloud being the main character, it's a main character that everybody's loved for a long time, and I think a lot of people are anticipating this game, and I don't really know many people who are mad about it, and I don't really see why you would be. So with that being said, putting a rating on it, I would probably give it an 8 to 8.5 out of 10. It was really solid. Not perfect. Not always, everything you could see. There's definitely some hiccups, when walking next to other characters. And there's times where it can get kind of awkward, and, you're going to see that in any kind of game. I mean, Kingdom Come Deliverance was one of the better games that I feel like came out when it came to a free-range game like that. And it had plenty of hiccups, which, don't get me wrong, they're totally different games. I understand that. But you're going to have these types of awkward moments when walking next to each other, or in certain little sequences where characters kind of line up weird, or they just kind of bump into each other weirdly, they make awkward little moves. So I absolutely doesn't bother me by any means with this game. It definitely plays great. It's very smooth combat wise. It's very smooth in and out of its cinematics. So I'm definitely pretty happy with it.
Help me! What are they?
Drop your weapon!
Just want to say thank you to everybody who decided to come and check out this video. Much appreciated. Again, this is one of my first videos, so any kind of editing tips that you guys may have, any comments you guys want to make about what you want to see, any reviews that you guys want me to do, please let me know. Please hit that like and subscribe button, share with your friends, follow me on Twitch and Twitter. I'll leave it, the handles in below. Come and check me out on Twitch. I usually stream almost every day around 9 o'clock, 9 to 10 o'clock, so I would definitely enjoy kind of building community over there and seeing you guys over there, seeing what you think. And with that, this is Killer Swank, man. I'm out. Appreciate it.